back to Jen Beauty. My name is Jennifer, and here on my channel I like to chat about all things beauty and makeup. Also, these are my hands. So I have a little bit different of a style of palette roundup this month, mostly because I haven't been feeling my best and very, very delayed on getting everything uploaded and even filmed now at this point. And so I wanted to do what made the most sense, and that was to have hands as my content. So every month I do a palette roundup and I rank my palettes that I use. Sometimes I have an honorable mention. This month I have 2. And then after that, we'll get into ranking my palettes. I'm moving my beauty room around because I got a new vanity. So this is a different vantage point. You'll have to let me know what you think, if it works for you. And hopefully I will be back to feeling like myself and making regular content pretty soon. So the first honorable mention is this palette that I created from Lethal Cosmetics. I really, really like this hot green. I kind of thought this pink would be a bit more vibrant, but it is very beautiful. So I have had this as an idea in my mind for a while, and I'm happy that I finally made this palette and love the look I made with it. And if you're familiar with my channel, I usually share my looks in my video. I don't think I'll be able to do that this month, but if I have any looks that I can find, I will definitely add them in as we go. Next honorable mention is the Stone Cold Fox from ColourPop. I'll be honest, I don't get a ton of use out of these mega palettes anymore. And I pulled this into a couple of looks this month, and I really do like it. I'm not sure why I don't reach for it as much, but I have a little project I'm working on for my single shadows that I think will help me bring these in a bit more. And as you can see, this palette is disgusting and well loved. So let's start out at the bottom, and I guess I need to count them. Son of a biscuit, I hope nothing broke. We're okay, 2 palettes fell. Now I have to remember what order they were in. I think it was this and then this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, I have 14 palettes this month, and starting off at number 14 is the ColourPop of Quartz. Now, this is like totally my vibe of a color story, but I struggled with this palette. I struggled that like this shade was patchy. What is that? Opaque? Yeah, no. We need to rename that to patchy or opaque-ish, but that was definitely not opaque. This Rock On shade I wanted to love, and it was like, meh. I don't even super love all of these shimmers. This one feels the best, but I just don't love it. So this is probably going to be decluttered. And for the record, this is one of the palettes that has the bigger pans. And my personal theory is that these, while they do not come with a mirror, are not as great quality. I do like the packaging. Look at that. That's pretty. So I definitely think between this and like Blow and Smoke blows this one out of the water, and there is absolutely no reason to ever purchase this if you should find yourself coming upon it and being like, ooh, that's beautiful. Don't do it. Don't do what I did. Okay, number 13 is ColourPop Wannabe. All right, so this palette is actually beautiful and the quality is actually pretty great. That being said, these are not my tones at all. I'm struggling with whether or not I should keep this one and maybe like depot these, like deconstruct this and put these tones with other things that I know I can work with. Let me know what you think about that. I've already done that. That's the project I alluded to. And also, for the record, this is one of the bigger pan palettes. I would say the quality in this one was definitely better than the one in Of Quartz, but I still don't feel like this is like the superb ColourPop formula. Everyone says there's 2, but I really think there's 3 different ColourPop formulas. Let me know what you think. At number 12 is the Nomad Berlin Underground. Now, this is not because this is a bad palette at all. I literally just had to rank it somewhere. And I find that I like a variety of textures in my palettes. And this one doesn't have as much variety in texture. Beautiful shades. I think this is like my favorite shimmer in this palette, or in most of the Nomad Cosmetics palettes. It is like this beautiful iridescent-y duochrome. Iridescent-y is a word, only because I just said it is. I don't really know if it is. I love the grungy tones. I absolutely love the imprints that they do on all of their palettes. It just, to me, gives it an extra special touch. And I love that they designed these on location, and this one was in Berlin. At number 11 is the Cinderella palette from Sigma. Now, if you saw my rating last month, oh, by the way, this brush is absolutely gorgeous. If you saw my ranking last month, you saw that I struggled hardcore with the Enchanted palette, which is similar to this. This one was nowhere near as difficult to work with. I think just the combination of the type of shades that they chose for that mini Enchanted palette did not work for me. I love this shimmer here. This is Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Like, for me, that shade is worth it all by itself. It's gorgeous, and it's soft, and I love it. So I ended up having a really beautiful look with this palette that I absolutely loved. And I was afraid to use it for a while, so I'm glad that I actually enjoyed this one. Also, the packaging on this one definitely sucks me in. Now, at number 10, I have what may be a controversial opinion. This is the Melt Cosmetics Amor and Mariposa palette, and this is absolutely a beautiful palette, but I struggled to work with this a little bit. I was watching, oh my gosh, yeah, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I don't remember who I was watching. I'll find it and I'll link it below or pop her face up on the screen. But she was talking about how she had the same like finicky issues with this formula. Overall, I like Melt Cosmetics formula. And she was saying if you stay in these color families, like per row, then it's not that difficult to work with. And if you start, I think she said darkest to lightest, that also helps. I typically go lightest to darkest. That's just like how I taught myself to do my makeup. But I agree, this is a formula where I think if you go darkest to lightest, it won't blend out into mud. I still want to give this a few more chances. It's definitely not on the chopping block for declutter right now because, I mean, it's butterflies and I love butterflies. And also this purple shade is so gorgeous. So I'm gonna hang on to this, but that's just where we are for this month's ranking and the look that I didn't totally enjoy. Coming in at number 10, this is actually one of my favorite Nomad palettes, if not my absolute favorite Nomad palette. And this is the Paradise Islands palette. This thing is gorgeous. I love the packaging. I love the shimmer shades in here. I like that there are different textures of shimmers. I love the mattes. The one criticism I saw a lot of people say is that there wasn't really a lot of depth to this. Like you have a little bit of light here, but it's a shimmer. And then the matte shades don't go dark enough. And if you're doing more of like a look staying, again, like the Melt palette, if you stay in this row, you kind of get what you need out of each row, but I really enjoy some of the looks that I made with this palette, but I think there's actually one that will be my favorite out of Nomad. And it's not this one, surprisingly. What was that, 10? 14, 13, 12. All right. Number 8 is the ColourPop Off Melrose palette. I actually really like this one quite a bit. I like the deep brown smoltery looks that I make with this. I hate ColourPop's sequin matte formula. The darker ones in particular, I find to be more on the like dry and not very impressive side. So I tend not to enjoy those and dip into them very much. But this is still, I think, a good solid palette, especially for like fall or like even fall into winter. Or let's be real, I'll wear this any time of the year. All right, next up in the ranking, we have the ColourPop Glam Right. And this is a like darker pink monochromatic type palette. I really love this duochrome shimmer shade and really have enjoyed the looks that I've made with this so far. So that's why we're ranking in at the mid-tone. Also, both of these, I think, are good formula. At least the palettes I got. Number 6. So coming in at number 6 is the Nomad Cosmetics Cartagena Magica. I know there's no planet on which I am saying that correct, but I absolutely love the combination of these bold, bright pinks and orange and the pop of yellow. Like, this is magic in a palette for me. And again, we have the range of textures in the shimmer shades. Like this is more of a satin shimmer. And then these are more of like a glitter topper. I love that. So this is beautiful and wonderful, and I absolutely love it. It was very difficult for me to decide what was going to be in my top like 5, and even then what order they would be in. So coming in at number 5 is the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop Cotton Candy Palette. These are discontinued, like I can tell you for a fact. My husband hunted high and low for every single one on Mercari to complete my collection. And I'm so glad that he was able to get this one. It's absolutely beautiful. I could just eat it. Coming in at number 4 is the Kaleidos Futurism 7 Sashimi City. And so one thing to know is these palettes have a little like flavor saver, you know, like all palettes do, the plastic piece. And that's where all the shade names are on these palettes. I keep losing mine, so I've kind of given up. But their eyeshadow formula, I think, is my favorite of any brand at all. And the only reason this isn't like number 1 is because it's a more neutral color story and I tend to like more color. But the look I came up with for this was still gorgeous. Coming in at number 4 is the Lethal Cosmetics Nightflower palette. I lusted after this one for a while. It finally restocked and I was able to pick it up. These are like my tones. I absolutely love the packaging. Look at that. It's like an oil slick. The only thing I absolutely dislike about the palette is that the names are back here. But that's okay. Again, we have this like range of shimmers, and these are like a beautiful glitter topper that's also very metallic, which I absolutely love. And it goes from light to dark, and the formula is great, and I love it, and I don't regret at all that I splurged on it. Ooh, I lost a flower. These are actually like just single flowers off of like long doohickey. But these came as part of the thing. I just wanted some like dimension of different types of flowers. Anyways, coming in at number 2 is the Sydney Grace Temptalia palette. This is On the Horizon. So there's actually 3 in this set, and I settled on getting On the Horizon. And when you put them all together, it makes a scene, and I ended up with the middle scene. And I'm a moron, okay? Like, when I was picking these out, I didn't even notice that all 3 went together. I was watching someone's declutter, and they put all 3 together, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're cohesive. That's great. Now I need the set. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But this palette is like my fall dream. It is so pretty. And Sydney Grace's formula is like, it's so soft. The mattes blend out beautifully, and they don't blend into nothing. They don't get muddy. Absolutely love this. Love the color story. Love the packaging. I love everything about it. And I love Sydney Grace. I love supporting indie brands, if you can't tell from my collection. And then finally at number 1 for September, I can't believe we're almost done with October and I'm finally filming this, but you know what? It's getting done. It's fine. Is the Kaleidos Futurism 3 Astro Pink. Oh my gosh. I lusted after this one for a while, and this is actually the Flavor Saver I was talking about. And even though this is a sequin matte, it's absolutely gorgeous. I just tend not to like ColourPop's sequin matte formula or other small, cheaper brands. Anyways, again, this is my favorite formula. Blends out beautifully. Like, cannot say enough good things about Kaleidos. Also, they ship from China, and all their stuff gets here in like one piece. And I can't say the same for I don't know, some things I've ordered from Ulta. But the packaging is gorgeous. They discontinued a few of these, and I actually wish I had them, but I'm not paying like $100 for them. That's insane. So that's it. That is my palette ranking. I'm absolutely disgusting now, so I'm gonna have to go wash off, but I'm happy to be able to finally put these palettes away. Let me know what you think. Do you have any of these palettes? Do you have any of these on your wish list? Clearly I have a type, because these are all deeper in color and more in the like cool tone, purplish kind of range. So if you like this video, I hope you'll give it a big thumbs up. Oh, look at that little ghosty. Give Ghosty a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more makeup and beauty content from me, hit that subscribe button and I'll have more coming at you. I hope wherever you are, you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.